Dzień dobry, witam bardzo serdecznie. Piętro kierownicze. Lobuj zarząd cały, ja pierdzielę. Dobra.
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity Ltd? I think we both know that's not going to work. Our public perception is good enough. If you ask me, reaching out to save... The internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors, not take them under our wing. This is exactly why Masako's time as CEO is finished. Good. If you use that neuroamp wisely, it will guarantee that Infinity gets shut down. Well, it does make Ryujin look good, and we do gain a wider customer base, which means higher profits. You're oddly right about this one, Op. As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind, this should make for an interesting meeting. An issue? That would be a foolish move. Dalton and Alexis are the only two against it. You'd never get the rest to shut it down. Dangerous indeed. For all I know, you're using it right now. The irony. Perhaps I didn't see it earlier, but you're right. The moment a competitor reverse engineers Vina's work, it'll be chaos. The last thing I want is to have my brain scrambled because some engineer didn't do their due diligence. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make.
Okej. Ta jest zrobiona.
I'm glad we're making an effort in our appearance today. Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available. An efficient exchange, then. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity Ltd throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why?
Możemy ocalić posady.
Saving the jobs of thousands is altruistic, which is not a luxury corporations have. It's a financial burden. It would be a huge undertaking on my part. This is true. Infinity never had the financial resources to match our salary offers. Getting what few capable employees they have at half the salary we typically pay here could have major payoffs in the long run. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation?
Załatwiam to kłę.
Expand on that, if you can.
Inny prezes skupia się na prewencji.
An excellent point. Why react and repair when you can prevent a situation altogether? I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been.
Jest zbyt niebezpieczna.
It's only dangerous to those who can't afford one. Hence the added motivation that will bolster sales.
Nie, no toż co ty?
I think we all know how averse I am to chaos. Finances are my forte, so you make a good point. Our competition has yet to truly master neuroamps, but the possibility is there. It's a risk I am unwilling to take. At this time. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate.
Dobra, Andrea nie jest zadowolona z jakiegoś powodu. Nie wiem dlaczego w ogóle, ale dupy z nią teraz.
Ooh, look at that. Your surgical wound's healing like a dream. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope. Reminds me of my undergrad days. I mean, I assume you're joking, right? I'll have to get that documented and we'll definitely want to run a few tests if not. So, tell me what you think of the 𝗫𝘳𝘓.
Niebezpieczna.
I hope you're not actually suggesting that the technology I spent years working on and perfecting never sees the light of day.
No nie
This is
powinna.
groundbreaking work. My life's work.
Rozumiem.
Fine, fine. Make your case. Damn the negatives. You're right. I really haven't been taking everything into account. You really think they could come after me? Well, this conversation's made me feel like a proper monster. But you're right. In a perfect world, tech like this is used for good. But this world is far from perfect.
To jest prawda.
It is. It really is. For years, my only focus has been, is this possible? And then, how do I make it work? I never stopped to consider if it was right, or what it would mean.
No ja nie jestem fanem tego urządzenia. Nie może tak być. Albo wszyscy to mają, albo nikt. A nie, bogaci ludzie będą mogli wykorzystywać to nad biednymi.
So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd be?
Musi być coś inspirującego lub nowego w ich badaniach.
That's what I'm hoping for. They may be the underdog, but that doesn't mean they don't have a brilliant mind or two. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right?
Dobra.
Is Misako checking up on me to make sure I'm on her side?
Jestem tu z własnej woli.
And I don't have an agenda. Look, I know Misako sent you. She knows I want this deal as much as she does. We just need to grab Infinity Ltd while it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light. I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year. All right. I suppose you've earned the right to voice your opinion after everything you've done, qualified or not. So let's hear it. The possible backlash on tech like this is not lost on me. However, the internal 𝗫𝘳𝘓 will define the next era of tech, with Ryujin at the forefront. It's not an opportunity you just walk away from.
Nigdy nie poradzicie sobie z moralnymi reperkusjami.
You're right. The moment you violate your customers' trust, there's a good chance they'll never come back. Even worse, you push them into the hands of your competitors. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
Okej. No jeszcze trzeba wyjebać tą główną. Teraz ja zajmę to miejsce.
So much work to do. If you need something, make it quick. I'd like to make sure my arguments are solid before this meeting. Choose your words carefully. If you expect me to respond to threats, you're sadly mistaken. Now, I can only assume you're referring to Infinity Ltd, and there's only one right decision regarding that corporation. Complete dissolution. All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset. A certain amount of confidence during the negotiations would go a long way in this situation. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom.
Ciekawe twoje zdanie na temat wewnętrznego neuroaplikatora.
Nice to know someone is. Everyone's too busy praising its completion to think about the dangers it could represent. First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life. Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage.
Well, that is one very clear position.
I ja się z nim zgadzam.
Well, I'm both glad and surprised to hear the one person who has one say that. Masako is lucky to have you at her disposal, you know? You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful.
Dobra, i teraz potrzebuję się tego przekonać.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome. Good on you.
It would be almost fitting to see the technology immediately turned on those who fostered its creation.
If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk, and look what happened. You read my mind. Let's just hope Masako and the others see it that way. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd., we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause.
Przejęcie jest ważne.
I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd. is obviously not known for their security. I only hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ularu's termination of employment at this meeting, so I need to have security ready to escort her off the premises.
No i najsuwa, wszystko zrobiliśmy tak jak chcieliśmy. Wyjebać neuroaplikator i przejąć firmę, żeby pracownicy nie stracili roboty. No i będę chciał też przejąć stanowisko CEO. Bo to ja powinienem rządzić Ryujin Industries. Ja! Tylko ja! Ile ja zrobiłem do tej firmy! Stworzyłem ją! Tak to widzę.
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity Ltd's botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial, and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity Ltd.
Believe it or not, I agree. The acquisition has risks, and it's going to create a lot of work for all of us. But the overall payoff will be worth it.
That and Infinity Ltd's current situation makes them more affordable than ever.
Arguments? None? Excellent. Moving on, then.
I think what we're all overlooking is what led us to this situation to begin with. Yes, our security was compromised. But considering Dalton was hired by Masako, the issue obviously starts at the top.
Tak.
In fact, I propose that Masako be removed from CEO altogether.
𝗷𝘆𝘁, this isn't a line you want to cross.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with.
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous
No
claim?
jasne.
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Masako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, 𝗷𝘆𝘁, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
Trafi za kratki.
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
No nie.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd? Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up?
Uważam, że prace powinny być...
The internal neuroamp is a key component of Ryujin Industries' success for the next 10 years, if not more. Why would we shelve it after we've finally perfected it? Pay attention.
Odbiera ludziom wolną wolę, to niewłaściwe.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but he's right. Regardless of the pros, the cons are too morally and ethically irresponsible to move forward with.
The moment the public gets wind of the true capabilities of this tech, we're gonna suffer severe backlash.
Very well. All in favor of shelving Project Dominion?
Aye.
Vina, prep Project Dominion for storage. Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
If only there were more hours in the day.
Shelving the internal neuroamp. Not the outcome I anticipated.
Może w końcu się zrozumie, no.
A fine point, but it still proves its usefulness. The truth remains, Lucas Drexler learned a hard lesson, and we exposed a traitor among us. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin. I suppose it is. Gratitude isn't something you typically hear these days in the corporate world. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing 𝗷𝘆𝘁. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time.
There was no honor in 𝗷𝘆𝘁's plan. It did not deserve to succeed.
I hope that enthusiasm sticks with you for the foreseeable future. Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it.
Dziękuję.
It's well deserved. As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would prefer to explain those to you.
Nice.
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
Don't cause any trouble.
This deal could be huge for my company.
Imogen byłoby trzeba porozmawiać, jak takie pożegnanie, co? Co byśmy chcieli porobić?
Taking a break? I'm literally dying to... Okay, not literally.
Try not to harass my techs too much. They have work to do. Keep moving up.
A wróciła? Ona wróciła, nice.
You've certainly shaken things up around here. I still can't believe Ularu tried to frame me. An obvious misjudgment on my part. But now that's all in the past. It's time to get back to your typical day-to-day. And I'd say it's good to be back if I hadn't returned to a mountain of paperwork. Now, since you were new, you've been dealing with people, but most of our assignments are generated on the mission board. The board holds any available assignments that our techs have pieced together, and I've approved. Questions? Good. The mission board is generally self-explanatory anyway. With your promotion, you've earned yourself an office, so whenever you're ready, you can find your own personal mission board inside. And the best perk of them all, you're free to make your own hours. You certainly will. Go check out the board, and if you have any questions...
Mam swoje biuro? Już podpisane? Fajnie. Wow. Super. Czyli co, wątek skończony. Frakcyjne, wszystko zrobione. Wow. No cóż, i w ten sposób ten wątek się kończy. Wychodzi na to. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie. Trzymajcie się, do usłyszenia, no i cześć. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie mojego materiału. Mam nadzieję, że Wam się podobało. Jeżeli Wam się spodobało, pamiętajcie, żeby kliknąć kciuk w górę, zasubskrybować i kliknąć dzwoneczek. Wszystko, aby zawsze być na bieżąco. Jeżeli macie coś do napisania, napiszcie komentarz, dzięki temu będę wiedział, że jesteście, że Wam się podoba i przede wszystkim, że chcecie, żeby tych materiałów pojawiało się więcej. Dodatkowo, jeżeli chcecie się wdzięczyć za to, co robię i podoba Wam się moja praca, pamiętajcie, że możecie kliknąć w moją nazwę, wejdziecie do strony głównej mojego kanału, kliknąć opcję wesprzyj i za 2 zł, 10 albo 30 zostaniesz wspierającymi według waszej tutaj chęci i potrzeby oddania trochę tej dobroci w moją stronę. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie, trzymajcie się, do usłyszenia i życzę wam miłego. Bardzo serdecznie dziękuję wszelkim wspierającym za to, że jesteście. Dziękuję tym, którzy byliście wspierającymi i dziękuję wszystkim tym, którzy po tym właśnie filmiku zdecydowaliście się na wsparcie. Przede wszystkim to nie jest tak, że wspieracie osobę, która ma tysiące widzów. Wspieracie małą społeczność, której dzięki każdej osobie z was, każdej złotówce, którą mi przelejecie, każdym 2 złotym, które jesteście wspierającymi ptasiakami, za każdą tą jedną osobę bardzo serdecznie dziękuję i za każdą tą złotówkę dziękuję, ponieważ dzięki temu po prostu mam chęci, mam motywację i przede wszystkim mam dodatkowe finanse, które pozwalają utrzymać ten kanał i utrzymać wszystko, co się wokół niego dzieje, włącznie z kosztami prądu, kosztami kupowania nowego sprzętu, kupowania nowych gier i w ogóle całego czasu, które spędzam, czy to nagrywając, czy to streamując i czy to, jeżeli w przypadku wielu sytuacji rozmawiając i wspierając osoby, które w jakiś sposób czują się gorzej, więc moja działalność jest bardzo szeroka i cieszę się, że doceniacie ją. Jeżeli ktoś z was czuje się gorzej i chciałby ze mną porozmawiać i ma jakieś takie problemy, możecie do mnie napisać, zagadać, wszystko na Discordzie, a link do Discorda w opisie.